if you're watching this, it's 2 o'clock and it's Factory 5 Live. I thought about what I wanted to talk about today, and we've made a lot of project progress. And so I want to kind of give you a recap of where we are on the projects. But a couple things first. The last broadcast I did was talking about kind of leadership and decisions you make based on belief. I just want to say I received quite a few emails and text messages, and I wanted to say thank you. The things that people said really meant an awful lot to me. And but you know, when we started these broadcasts, we were just kind of letting people know what's going on. A lot of people are sitting at home, figured might as well clue them in on the day-to-day activities and how we're managing here at Factory 5. But I got to give huge credit all the way along the way. I've had my sidekick Mad Dog here. Flip it around, Mad Dog. Show him your hat. So dig on this guy's hat. Now leave it flipped around, Dave. Don't just like be shy. Now look at that. Look at that wicked awesome Red Sox hat and the Citgo sign mask. All right, that's good. Yeah, everybody. Sometimes I make fun of Mad Dog a lot. It's kind of the nature of our business. If you've been on our website, he wrote it. You know, if you've seen print ads in magazines, he's done them. If you've got an info pack, he's probably stuffed them. He does all the downloads of the database. He's also our IT professional. He does all our system stuff, and he's been involved in a huge project on upgrading our hardware and our software to a new operating system. And that's a year-long effort. So in addition to everything that I put on his plate, you know, obviously he's got a whole bunch of stuff to deal with. We're a small company, and he wears a lot of hats. So Mad Dog, how much fun it's been doing these with you. So let's talk about the projects. Mad Dog, I put some drawings up. Basically, we're in the northwest corner of our original building. We did this addition here, blew out the showroom, and if you turn on slowly, Mad Dog, you can see this is the last stage of the showroom addition. Right now, there's 3/4 inch plywood behind this plastic. The hole in the wall has already been cut, and I think tomorrow we're getting the glass doors delivered. And it's not glass doors, it's just glass windows. So it's glass doors, windows, glass doors, windows. So the whole front of the showroom is going to be all glass. So this way, since nobody can come and visit, we can all press our faces against the glass. Just kidding. So let me show you the drawings of what's going on, Mad Dog. I'm going behind you here. I talked about, let me get my glasses out here. I talked about leadership last time, and you know, you have to, let's talk about the future. You know, we don't know what the future holds. So if you're running your own company, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, people are going to look to you for answers. And well, you don't know. When you can be optimistic, you can tell them everything's going to be great. If that's not the truth, that's not going to work. You can also be doom and gloom and say, you know, Western civilization is going to come to an end, and you know, go stock up on guns and canned goods and squirrel jelly. That's not helpful either if it's not true. So a leader has to be truthful, but also, you know, look at it as a glass half full, and look at what are the skills and the opportunities you have. Even though there may be hardship, there's always opportunities. Well, one of the most important things is being honest to your crew. So when I talked about this new building plan as part of a larger integrated plan, I made sure that everybody knew that what we were doing was building a shifter cart track. See, then they would all support it, shifter cart track. That was a joke. But actually, let's start with a shifter cart course, because if we're just building buildings and making cars and you know, like this all day long, we're not having any fun. I don't know if anybody's visited. We have we used to have 4 Red Bull shifter carts, and one was kind of cannibalized for parts. But we have 3 functioning, pretty fast, 125cc, 2-stroke Red Bull Challenge shifter carts, and we run them after hours. And we've been running them, and let me look at this map, Dave. I'm going to put my mask on, and you can kind of zoom in on the map. What you're looking at, guys, is Factory 5's property and related entities, because this building here, Building A, here is where we are right now. I drew a little stick figure guy. So here's Dave and Mad Dog. We're in the northwest corner of the showroom. And the building, the primary building for people who have visited, is this building. And it's set on 2.5 acres of property. So if you look out the window, Dave, where that truck is, I don't know if the camera can pan. Where that truck is essentially parked right in the middle of my shifter cart track. So here's my truck there. So to give you orientation, there's the truck over there. The parking lot goes along the back. We have asphalt around the back of the building. This is Building A with the new showroom. Building B here, Dave, if you swing around, you can see Building B. And I was going to walk over there, but it's wicked windy. That was for you, Dave. And there's a lot of concrete and dust going on right now. So probably not, that's a perfect cue, huh? I mean, it's a little storm of dust. That's building B, and this asphalt was to come in by the end of the week. It looks like it's gonna be the first part next week. So let's go back to the map. So, and Dave, you can interrupt me if anybody's got any questions or anything. So building A, existing with the addition. Building B is, now the debate was, would we use this for pilot production of F9, F9R, of finished cars that are allowed under the new SEMA bill, the small volume bill. Right now it's going to be composites, and I'll go through that project right now. But this building is coming, it's about a month delayed, maybe a month and a half, but it's really coming along well. But more importantly, look at the property here. So we have all this asphalt here, and around the back, and then all this loading area in the back with two docks on the building B. And this is all pavement here. So I thought, here's our existing shifter cart track. We go out the shipping door here, and this is shipping in the back. If you've picked up a kit at Factory 5, you picked it up back here. The loading docks are here. So here's our pit out for our shifter carts. And so if you're taking one of the carts out, you're gonna cross the start-finish line here, and we're gonna go around this cone and get a nice outside line on it, and come around this cone, and this cone, and this cone. So these three cones we set up, we have markers on the concrete out there. And then you have this nice long run, and with a two-stroke motor, you can really get a head of steam going here. Maybe about 60 miles an hour before you want to cut this cone, cut this cone, cut this cone. Now, previously, where we would run the circuit is we would come back here to this cone. So we'd come along here, go around this cone and back. And we'd run around this circuit, and it's fun. And there's so few things that help you practice for road racing like shifter carts. But now with this additional asphalt, instead of turning in here, I'm going to continue around this cone. I can go out into the circle drive here, around this cone, and this cone. I got to circle it back, stay wide of this cone. Now, I think if we're running one continuous cycle and we're not too close, I think we can risk a 180 coming back on the inside of this cone so we don't get too wide. Go wide on this cone, another 180, cut that apex, try to cut that one, nice. Now I wrote, this is skull and crossbones territory, because this is where our drainage ditch is, so if you carry too much speed here, you're gonna be total ragdoll syndrome into the ditch. But if you make this turn here, then you've got a run either to the finish line, or we can set up a cone here where you do a 180 and come back around. So this is a fun shifter cart course. She goes all the way around the two properties. You know, we can certainly put the heavy equipment and things out of the way, but if you come here after hours later this summer, I'm hoping to, most importantly, have our shifter cart course really laid out well. And nothing's like practice on a shifter cart course. So, Dave, let's update the important projects. In more serious note, we will have our shifter cart course soon. The solar array. We're getting closer, guys. I did the math upstairs, and we are at 1.104.39 gigawatts as of today, 5/13. That has displaced 620 tons of carbon and 91,250 gallons of gasoline equivalent we have not used. So, you know, the solar array is almost completely done. It's all installed, it's generating power. The only difference is, since the shutdown has affected the speed at which essential services are working, a la utilities, we're not getting any credit, any tax credit. So for all you guys that complain that, oh, Factory 5 got a big tax break for that solar array, trust me, I'm not enjoying any benefit of that tax break. So on the solar, the good news is we're done, it's installed, it's generating power. The power you see in the lights here are 100% solar renewable. Anything we're doing in the back is paid for with solar. So it's really cool. That project, all in, we're close to $1 million on our very first solar array and our second array. Our most recent array was about $500,000 worth of our capital expenditures. I don't think I'm going to get a real big tax break on that, on the capital equipment expenditure, because I don't think we're going to make a lot of money this year, so that really kind of stinks. But the original math with tax breaks is better. But the bottom line is, solar, you know, we're doing well. All we need is the electric company to come over and go like this and start giving us credit for the power we're generating. They're enjoying the excess, we're just not getting the credit for that. The new addition, you're standing in the new addition. All that's left on the new addition is the hole in the wall there to be done with glass. Then I'll have my son come in here and do the floors, finish up the paint work. We have a few things we're going to put on the walls, and we're operational. Now, I don't think, seriously, no matter what Charlie Baker says about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, I don't see customers being here for at least another month. And the ones that are going to be here, they're going to be contact precautions. We're going to have to do solo tours or small group tours. We have to have masks and things like that. So I'm not really excited about the return on the investment at our showroom. It sure is nice to have a place to park all the cars because we have so many different models and different configurations and race cars and street cars. It's nice to be able to park everything in a place. But the showroom, more or less, check it off the map. So the new building. So next door, Dave, if you shoot out over here, the building next door is, I'd say, a month from being operational. You know, I think that the pavement going in, the landscaping, electrical's done. I think we've got air handling. I think next Monday, Tuesday also, we have a $370,000 robotic trimming machine being delivered, which is really cool. And with that machine comes the dust collection system. You know, if you've been on a tour through Factory 5, there's a smell of fiberglass, but there's also, if you've been in a body shop, anywhere you grind fiberglass, whether a machine's grinding it or a person's grinding it, you get this fine pumice in the air. Well, with this robot, it's such an expensive robot, we also bought a really expensive dust collection system. So basically it hoovers all the dust right off the milling head, and it goes to a solid collector outside the building. That goes into solid waste, which is really environmental. It's the right way to do it, and it's also the right way to do it from an environmental standpoint for our guys' lungs, to make sure our guys are healthy. So, so that building, we're looking at about a month, and when that's operational, we'll get our occupancy permit. Now, there's only going to be 5 guys in that building. So 5 guys in a 12,000 square foot space, I think social distancing will be just fine. So we'll keep guys spread out. We'll continue what we're doing here, where we have small functional groups of less than 5 in a minimum of 6,000 square feet in the warehouse in welding and molding. So the building's going well. We'll have probably $1.5 million, $1.8 million into the building and robotics and all that stuff when we're done. And the return on that is obviously better molded parts, more efficiency, and more area in the back where molding is currently to be able to be used for other operations, which we talked about vertical integration last time. So let me see what else is on the list here. So we got our solar, we got our showroom edition, and our new building, you know what's happening there. The robotics and the dust collection are part of that new building. I should have mentioned, this is really cool. You want to be environmental? Great, you got all this solar power, and people are going, man, the only reason you're doing solar is just to save money, right? Well, that's one of the reasons, but I also dig on being environmental. It's cool. One of the great opportunities is when we were doing the financing on the solar and on this new building construction, we looked at our existing HVAC system. And our existing HVAC, I mean, I can tell you, let me just stand over here, Dave, so we're farther apart. Sorry for the jag. The existing HVAC system is an old gas-fired system, and we got air conditioning. We're switching over to new heat pumps. So they're super environmental, they're super efficient. That building and this building, all the admin areas, the R&D areas, the workshop spaces, all going to be heat pumps. That's about 70 grand worth of changing over hardware to heat and cool spaces from zones, and use heat and cooling from some zones to reinforce the other zones. It's a really cool high-tech way to cool and heat your building. So that system we're working on right now. That's going to come in probably the next month as well. The last thing, I haven't crowed about it a lot. We haven't a lot of chance to use it because it hasn't been implemented yet. But anyone who's done an MRP system or an operating system, you know, computer operating system, you're talking about inventory, a sales order desk. If you complain about our website and the fact that it's not integrated into inventory, this system addresses that, but it's more than that. It's integrated into your accounting module, your finance and accounting module, your inventory module, your sales order desk, obviously your customer service database, your information pack calls, who's ordered what when, kind of your CRP stuff, CRM stuff rather, and then all the hardware that goes with that. So a new file server. The guy holding the camera right now has been the mastermind behind a brand new file server and 23, how many computers did you get, Dave?
We got about 15, 20 computers.
15, 20 computers. He's pretty good with data. How many Red Sox championships have there been?
I mean, I don't know from before, but there's been 4 since '04. So.
4 since '04?
Yeah.
But before '04, how many years had gone before the Red Sox had won a world championship?
It's 86 years.
Yeah, well, who would know that but a pathetic Red Sox fan? But up until 2004.
Know that.
Lots of people know that. Like lots of people are walking around Boston with a Citgo mask and a Red Sox hat.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I love you, brother. So, so those are the projects we're working on. Dave, if you got any questions, I can answer them. One of the questions on the post today was about Canadian import regulations. Canada is a whole separate seminar that we can do about 20 minutes on Canada. The essence of it is that we actually took a strong hand in negotiating the current relationship with what is allowed into Canada, what is not. We got a clarity from Transport Canada a long, long time ago. There was a funny story about the language barrier where you've got Quebec French speaking, you've got Ontario English speaking, and you've got the idea of a kit car and a car kit. And in the translation, a kit car was confused with a car kit, and so there are deletions from the kit that have to be made. Under NAFTA and under the new Canadian-Mexican Trade Organization, we can certainly sell the parts in our kit unfettered, but that hasn't changed yet and that hasn't been implemented yet. What is right now is something we'll go into. You can buy a kit if you're from Canada, but there are parts you can't buy. We'll go through that. Now, Dan Galoob is an expert on that. Now, he's out right now. He's got a baby at home, and obviously he's not part of the crew that we've got here working full time. So when he gets back, we can dive into that. What else? And someone else mentioned the slab side 289. I figure it's going to be my perennial comment. But anyway, any questions, Dave? Because we got projects updated on Factory 5. I really wanted to go outside and cause some mayhem. I went back and looked at the shifter carts, and they haven't been run for a year. So I think I'll bring my kid in and get them running out back before we start out. But I was going to give you maybe a tour. Once we get the asphalt done, maybe I can grab the camera and go around our shifter cart course and break it in. So I'm looking forward to it. But remember, if you want your people to be motivated, lie to them straight up and make them tell. This all is about a shifter cart track. So that's all it is. Anything else, Dave?
I think we're all set. Feel good.
All right. Well, guys, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's staying safe. Thanks again for all the nice emails. Dave out.